Hi everyone, welcome back. Okay, so this, I think I'm going to post this like a bonus video because I know a lot of you, most of you, all of you follow me for just my stationery, but this is kind of stationery related because now that I'm getting back into reading, I have decided to kind of create my own annotation kit. And having gone through all of Jane Austen July, it really reignited my love for reading, and it just made me want to reread all of Jane Austen's books. And because I have read all of them now, I thought it'd be fun to go through it and actually annotate the books. And I'm only going to annotate books that I have read before, just because I'm looking at it from a different perspective and I'm not reading it for the first time. And I've got a whole lineup of books that I want to do, but I'm going to start with Jane Austen and go from there. And I just wanted to show you what my kit is. But I also wanted to show you the set of books that I got just for annotating, because my first copies that I own are too precious to me. I can't write in them. And for the longest time, writing in books was like, oof, I couldn't do it. But the idea has really appealed to me in the past month or so. So I'm currently annotating Emma. And I got this book set from Arcturus. Hope that fits in the frame. Very colorful set, which is not usually what I go for. I usually kind of go for more subtle, very classic covers. But these all have very colorful designs, pop, neonish kind of covers. And I am very much looking forward to annotating all of these, or as my husband made a joke, annotating. So I am really enjoying the look of them all in this box sleeve that is sitting on my bookshelf. So that's the set that I got. A lot of reviews have said that the print is very tiny, but obviously when you have smaller books, this is more kind of like an A6 size. I mean, here's the Hobonichi for size. It's just like a little bit larger. And that the print is rather tiny, and it is, and not a whole lot of margin for writing, so I have a solution to that. And honestly, I don't even know how much I'm going to be actually writing in my own thoughts. So far I haven't gotten to that point yet, but Emma is the one that I'm working on right now. Does anybody else do this, that they have like a little bag that they use to kind of protect the covers? I've always done that with very pretty books, just so they don't get ruined. But here's my annotation kit. It's this beautiful Vicky Sawyer pouch that my husband got me. And in here it looks packed. And because I'm just kind of at the start of it, I don't know if I'm going to be using all of this, but I have a postcard with a Jane Austen quote. And I plan on using this probably as a bookmark or something. That's kind of why I put that in there. And then I have a ruler, just a clear one that I have in my stash. I have library cards. I bought these as a thing to use as a theme for my daughter's birthday party. And I just had so many extras that I thought this would be a great way for me to kind of keep track of how I'm color coding everything. And then I also had this idea that I could stick them in to the front of the book with the pocket and actually stamp in the date that I start annotating. And then it's also going to have the key in there so I can have something to refer to. And then I'm going to stamp the date of when I finish annotating it. So I thought that was kind of going to be my like little way of keeping track of all that for each of my books. So, and I just love libraries. So that's the idea between the sleeves and the library cards. And then I just have the extra key sitting in my bag. And then I have my little stamp kit with my date stamp and my black ink that I'm going to be using for that. Book darts. I love these for journaling, and I'm not one to flag things off to the side. I just feel like that would be so sloppy looking for me personally. So I just like having the darts that sit flat like that. And I just feel like it's just way neater, and I don't have to have this like huge rainbow thing of flags, which would really bother me. So I have the 125 count brass ones. This is a new tin that I bought specifically for all of my annotating. Perfectly shiny and new, and I'm excited to use those. And then here's my solution for taking notes. I found these on Amazon, and they are clear sticky notes, so it's kind of like a filmy plasticky material. And sadly, my Sharpie pens do not work on this, so I have had to test a few ballpoints, and a couple of you recommended a few good ones. Somebody reminded me about the Jetstream, the Uniball Jetstream. I love these pens, but I couldn't find them in a small pack in store. I went to Target, and I think these are just the ones that you have to order in the larger pack, but I happen to have one in my, what I use to keep for like work, all my pens I use for work, and I happen to have this in there, and I'm so happy that somebody reminded me of it because these write so nicely. They're so smooth. I'm not a ballpoint pen user, but this is a great one, and these write really well on this paper. And then somebody also recommended the Pilot Acroball. This is a finer tip pen, which I'm not used to writing with, and but I'm gonna give it a try for note taking. And then I also found the Papermate Inkjoy in a 1-point nib, and so I've got these 3 to work with for writing down any notes, and I can just kind of stick these on, and because they're clear, they can just kind of sit over the text. And because these aren't advertised as like super sticky, I don't feel like this is going to lift up any of the print from the page if I do need to like take them out or something. So the only thing with these is when you write on them, you do have to give it like a minute to dry, otherwise it will smear. But after that minute or so, I don't find that it smears, and it just kind of sits nicely on the paper or the sticky note. So that's my solution for writing down any thoughts that I have. And then obviously I have lip balm, because all of my kits have lip balm whether it's stationery or anything. And then I've got various pens for if I do want to write in the margin. I threw in a Uniball Signo 207. I bought a new pack for work, so I had a lot of spares, so I just kind of threw that in. And then I have a Pilot G2 0.7 pen for if I need to highlight anything or like underline anything that's really important. And then I did throw in a pencil. This is my favorite mechanical pencil by Kokuyu, and it's a 1.3 millimeter lead, and I have the spare lead sitting somewhere. I gotta find it, but that's gonna sit in here too. This is the one that I usually use for like crosswords, so I just kind of took that from my crossword pencil case and threw that in here. And then I have 2 erasers, mostly because I don't think I've tested it on this paper yet with the pencil to see which one erases well. So I have the Tombow Mono Zero. That's a super flat, super small eraser. I love this. This is what I use for crosswords. And then this is the regular one that I have. It's the Pentel Clic eraser. They both work really well, but I haven't tested it on the paper, so we'll see which one works. And then getting down to the last of it, I have my friction highlighter markers. And let me just refer back to the guide yet, because I'm still getting used to how I've color coded it. Purple, which is my favorite color, is going to be what I highlight for any favorite and well-written passages. And the green one is for historical significance and detail, so just anything that interests me historically, that I just want to remember goes in that color. Blue is for any words that interest me or that I want to look up or figure out like why they used it in that context. Just words that are interesting to me are going to be highlighted in blue. And then pink is for quotes. I don't have anything for yellow, so I just kind of left that blank. But I have a very simplified annotation system because I'm not interested in like when characters are introduced and all of that stuff. I've watched a lot of videos where people get very elaborate in how they annotate, and I'm just not interested in that. I just want to highlight what interests me. So these are what I'm going to be using for a majority of my note-taking. And this all fits in here perfectly. I know it might seem like it's a lot, but right now I like my kit. It's cute. And it sits here with all of that room to spare if I really wanted to throw in more, but I don't see it. I actually see myself simplifying even more as I go. But, so that'll kind of just sit with my book. My book will have the cover. This is just one that I had sitting around. And that's my annotation kit. So, maybe I'll do a check-in later to see how it all goes and how I'm liking it, but I am really excited to kind of just dig into this beautiful set of books and move further into my reading list of other books that I want to reread and gain a different perspective of. All right, thank you guys so much for watching.